Oh, she said she won't. She said she won't be able to make it.
Oh, bless.
She just
Alrighty.
texted.
Okay, so we're recording now, and we're going to send all our love to Alicia, who can't make it. Welcome everybody to the Intergalactic Council of Three 30th transmission. My God, we're in for the long haul. And we welcome Laurie and she that shall be known as the great unknown for tonight. And we decided we'd have two very informative, maybe three, possibly four, very informative transmissions, and we just decided we had the giggles on us this time, so we just want to lighten it up a little bit and just share some silly stories about what's happened to us recently. Oh, the great unknown has made herself known. Marvelous.
Right, there she is. It's all an illusion. She's not really there.
I'm not really here.
It's all an
figment
illusion.
of your imagination. Yeah.
It's all an illusion.
Well, if you're a figment of my imagination, I'm so glad it's you, Bree, because you're like the best vision that my imagination can come up with.
I need like ears or something.
Right.
I need ears. Okay, the great unknown will be silent.
Is revealed.
The great unknown is revealed. So, my little friends,
it's like the eclipse last night. Everything is now revealed.
It's now, yes. So, Laurie got to see the eclipse. Did you, Bree?
No, I did not. Because I'm an illusion, so I
okay. Yes.
So you could have seen it. You could have just said you did. I did see it.
Yeah.
So I was. I don't know how cold it is where you are, Bree, but it was like -10 last night here. It was so cold.
Dang. It was cold here, but it was not.
I'm up against the window, seriously trying to see it, so I didn't have to go outside, and it was just over my house enough where I had to go outside. So I slipped on my slippers. I woke up right at the peak. Slipped on my slippers and ran outside with just my nightgown on in -10. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And then the wind showed up and I was like, yep, I'm done. That was really good.
Oh, that's really nice. That's great. You got to catch it.
What was really cool, I mean, the eclipse was amazing, but all the stars and planets that were around it were orchestrated. It was beautiful. It was powerful for sure.
Wow. That's great.
I wished I'd got it. We had fog here and I was awake from 1:48 this morning, jumping around the house, looking out of various windows. At 5 o'clock I was in the garden. And I just couldn't even see the moon. I could barely see the hand in front of my face. So I felt heated. I was heated in that regard. I shall have to wait another 9 years or whatever it is for the next one. Darn it.
Is it 9 years?
Anyway. There we are.
Of that one, of the Leo one. But I think there'll be I think it's every 2 years that it's a big one like that. The big
the last one was the beginning of 2017, and I remember that because I was thinking back. I was like, what was I doing at the beginning of 17? Oh, getting involved in another cult. Okay, well,
this is the end of them. This is the end.
Full circle. Yep. So now I'm done.
I hope
telling my illusory self.
I hope you're not accusing us of being a cult, young Bree. She who shall be unknown. I hope there's no ignorance of cults.
How could I be done? How could I be done with cults if I'm here in this beautiful gathering of an illusory? So I'm gonna go on with that forever.
I quite fancy being in a cult.
It's been a cycle after cycle, and I don't mean some of them might have been pretty close to an actual cult, scam cult, whatever, but it's more like the energy. Like I've been playing around, swimming through the waters of earthly lower dimensions of manipulation and let's tell these people these really nice words and suck them in, and then once you're done with them, so I'm thinking I think I get the picture now. I think I'm done with all that. I think it's very loud and clear.
As moving on up, the human condition is that it's not enough to know it, we have to feel it. So there we are, my love. You are feeling it. And having felt it for quite a few times, you're not going to have to do it much longer, which is great, unless you want to, of course, which could be huge fun.
Oh, no, not much longer. It's done. It's over.
Done. Brilliant. Fantastic.
I've learned that all of these experiences have come into my life to say, would you like to choose giving your power away to some piece of garbage idea that is not in alignment with your soul, or would you like to follow your heart?
You know what you need to do is pull out your pendulum. You got to pull out the pendulum.
Oh gosh, the
Speaking
pendulum.
of the pendulum, we have not introduced the pendulum yet.
No, we haven't. You got to explain it to you guys. You got to talk about the balls.
First of all, why don't people wear bandanas like this? Like, is this not?
It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah.
It's, I could actually.
Right, there you go. Now you got ears.
I want a horn is what I'm really going for.
Yeah.
I give up. So this pendulum is very special. We didn't name it yet. Claire, you said it's going to tell you its name. And I'm like,
Yeah.
No, you did come up
when
with
I listen.
Claire. It was like, I don't know, ball and night or something.
Ball and night.
I think it was slightly inappropriate. I think it was ever so slightly inappropriate.
It was very inappropriate because this baby comes from one of the okay, so there are history lesson or fun fact on Earth. There are these gigantic stone balls or spheres. We can call them spheres, but balls is kind of funny. Gigantic stone balls that are in certain parts of the Earth. I think it's like in Bosnia by the giant pyramids. Biggest pyramid in the world is in Bosnia that they found. Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, bigger than Giza. Then there's also, I think it's in South America or something, they have found these giant, I'm talking like 10 feet tall or higher stone balls, and they're perfectly round, and they don't know where they came from. It's probably not from this planet, but I don't know. And so one of the pieces of one of the stones fell off in Bosnia, and it was created into this pendulum and given to me by a very special person. So this is a very special, possibly off-Earth stone that I feel very lucky to have. Mm-hmm. Yet I do not know the name yet because I have not listened for the name. So when I decide to open my ears and inner ears, is that a thing? Maybe I will find out. So this is the introduction.
Make sure we're the first to know. We want to be at the christening of the name,
okay.
the naming of the ball fragment.
You will be the ball. The ball fragment will tell you directly in your dream time.
Excellent.
Because that's also an illusion.
Excellent.
Yes.
That'll do nicely. We look forward to that. She who is as yet unknown, or soon to be known, or in between being known and unknown. I'm looking forward to that.
Is that a metaphor for reality? In between known and unknown?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, that's the line we tread. That's the line we tread. Yeah.
I'm done.
And then it's all revealed. There you go.
Yep, it's revealed. I'm revealed.
So what hilarious, inappropriate, downright ridiculous things have happened to you recently? Anyone got to share?
I want you to share, Claire, first, because you said you had a really good one, and I want to hear this.
It makes me chuckle. It might be drastically tedious to everybody else, but I'm going to amuse myself by retelling this.
Right.
So I've just finished a treatment with, thank God, she's a friend. She's a fellow starseed, ascension path journeyer, and all of those things. So have a nice little treatment. She's just sitting on the edge of the couch and just getting a headspace right before she sets off. And then out of my mouth pops this little phrase: "Do you want to see into the future?" And I just went, just like that. I was absolutely horrified. I mean, I'm doing a proper acupuncture treatment and spirit level mentoring, and you know, it's all, I take it extremely seriously. I'm taking money for it, so it's bloody pucker. And literally, we just had this quiet moment of just reflection, and then that popped out, and I just went, "Oh, I am so sorry. That was so inappropriate." inappropriate on so many levels, because I'm not a scryer or a seer or a fortune teller or a witch. I am an acupuncturist and energy worker, and I wouldn't even if I was all of those things, I would never say it in a clinic. You want to see it? And my friend was just hooting on the couch because she said, well, what's even funnier, notwithstanding the look on your face of complete horror, she said, but that wasn't your voice. And I said, well, what has come through?
Right?
And I immediately got a sense of witchy energy. You know, the little cackle. I almost felt myself sort of, going over my cauldron, and I thought, well, this is really interesting. So we pulled a card, and it was Mercury, and call on Mercury for all things to do with communication, divination, and creative art. So we thought, okay, so we'll sit with that on the divination front and then just let it go. And in the afternoon, I sat and just quietly asked Spirit what was the name of the entity or the being that had come through so inappropriately and rudely, and just wanted to sort of look through the veil. And I heard and saw in my head, my mind's eye, Heini, Heini. And I thought, oh, it's German Jewish witch. I thought, that's interesting. I don't know any German Jewish witches, but that's lovely. Thank you, Heini. I then Googled Heini and came up with Heine's Witch. And it was a reference to a German author called Heinrich Heine, with an E. And he'd taken an existing poem about the Lorelei and made it his own, which became quite well known in the early 1800s. And it was about a mermaid who sat atop this rock overlooking the River Rhine in Germany, called the Lorelei, combing her golden hair and singing a song that was so enchanting that the sailors sailing on the Rhine beneath her dashed their ships onto the rocks. She was bewitching them, absolutely bewitching them. So that was interesting. And then what came to mind was I'd actually visited the Lorelei back in the early 90s when I was stationed in Germany at an RAF base near Dusseldorf. I noticed that Heinrich Heine, the author, had lived in Dusseldorf. And I'd been to a Sting concert on the Lorelei, and his hit single at the time that he played was Fields of Gold, which out of interest is written about cornfields in Wiltshire in England. And all of these things just sort of suddenly came at me from all different directions. I still have no idea what the meaning is of all the synchronicities, but they were coming thick and bloody fast, I tell you. So on that note, I then looked up oracle cards, witch oracle cards, and my friend offered to buy them for me. And she came up with these Divination of the Ancient cards, which looked rather lovely. So that was my extraordinary little, and this all happened in the space of sort of like 2 days. All of these things came at me, which is weird, because I really don't know what any of it means, but I'm just going to sit with it and and see.
I love that. I mean, you get those the answers coming in, all the puzzle pieces, but then you're like more questions.
More
you're
questions.
Like, wait.
I know.
Right?
I know. So why would a witch called Heini, who maybe is a mermaid, speaking through me an inappropriate language in a treatment, saying, "Do you want to see?" And I thought,
I would be interested to know what her past life was, because maybe she was one of the pirates that got delusion from her.
Maybe so. Maybe so. She was either taking. Yeah, I know, but it was just, and I've only ever had a different energy speaking through me in a voice that wasn't my own. That's only happened to me once before in a channeling course. But that's the first time that anything came out spontaneously, shall we say. So we'll see. We'll see what the little witch has to offer. Yeah.
Wow. Speaking of voices coming out of you, the first time I've actually done the light language was with you, Bree. And the voices and the sounds that were coming out of me, I was like, I don't even know what this is, but I'm just going with it because it feels good. It feels right, but.
Isn't it interesting? It's like a different aspect of us is speaking up, because we're like, I'm open to expressing who I really am, you know,
Mhm.
the different parts of my soul and other fractals and parallel realities and all of that stuff. So
If we weren't all in that circle and it blasted off, I would love to be like a fly on the wall just to see what the people walking by in that park were doing. Like,
I know. Can you imagine, like, from an energetic, because there were a whole bunch of us gathered, like there were 13 people there or
yeah,
something. It was like
there was a lot of people. A
12
lot
or
of people
13
showed up.
just sitting in the grass in this, you know, very public resort type area, and it would have been very interesting. There were more people there at the end when I opened my eyes than when we started. So,
But all reality was gone. Like, time didn't exist. It was just like,
you know, what's interesting about that is actually what I've been learning about light languages is they do create portals. They create higher dimensional portals as you speak them. It's actually an energetic field that goes out. And so we were enveloped in what you could consider a different dimension in that area.
I felt it.
Yeah. And so I am also curious what people would have observed.
That
A
weren't,
bunch of people
that weren't like, right, that weren't even like into that spiritual side of it, because this is, you know, there's all kinds of people at that meeting. It was
And I like that you said that a different, so Claire, I'd like to ask about when you were in the channeling course, if you don't mind, what was that experience then, if you had another voice come through there?
Well, that was, we were encouraged to just sit quietly with a guided visualization and then just wait to see if spirit wanted to come and if anything had a message. And if they did have a message, you just had to raise your little finger, and then the lady Janet Treloar, whose workshop it was, and she's a marvelous channel, she would then just say, "The spirit sitting with Claire, do you have something you would like to say?" And then that was the invitation to sort of open your mouth and let it go. And God, it was embarrassing. I'd resisted the temptation on the previous workshops, but this one I was going to go for it. I was just going to let rip. So I wasn't going to raise my finger. So I had my hands gripping my thighs, and without even realizing it, my little finger was actually wiggling, although my hand was on my thigh. And Janet, being of laser-like vision, spotted my little finger. So she said, "And the spirit with Claire, is there something you'd like to share?" And I was going, "No, I haven't raised my hand. No, absolutely not." And then out of my voice, what did it say? My hand shot out like that, which in itself was very embarrassing. Oh, that's it. And it was, the message was, "Be bold, be bold." And something about being courageous and following your path and stuff like that. But it was, you know, just thank God I was amongst friends, is all I can say. Because
that is incredible.
Even now I feel slightly sort of cringy about the whole thing, but
I love that. That was Yoda. That was Yoda coming through. He's all
it was something
bold,
very
you must be.
assertive, for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, it's really
great.
It's really cool. Thank you for sharing that story, because it's like what I'm finding is that, you know, we've put ourselves in these boxes like, okay, I've been taught as a human being, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to go here, I need to wear this, I need to be like this. Oh, I'm a girl, I have to do my hair like this, and I have to wear this makeup, and I have to do, and it's just like this lot, do this, and there's so many things that we're told we have to do, and now we're like, wait a minute, I can do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this instead, you know? So we're going through a period, like collectively on the whole earth, where we're realizing, things can be done different ways. They don't have to be done how we've been told, you must do it or else. Yeah. And I think channeling is basically, you know, channeling, talking to spirit, opening yourself up to the non-physical realm, in addition to it interacting with the physical realm, is a really, it's so expansive for our consciousness and for our heart, because we're saying, okay, there's more stuff out here that I cannot physically see with my physical eyes. There's more going on. There's more information that I can tap into. I have to open up and kind of be open to whatever happens, knowing that it is for, knowing that you're in communication with the light, with beings and with helpers and members of your light team, your guidance team that are here for our highest good. You can also open yourself up to things that you maybe don't want to rendezvous with, and that is with intention and without, that's a whole nother thing. So it's always good to be like, yeah, I'm only going to choose what's for my highest good, and just kind of make that intention. And as long as you know that you're only rendezvousing with the goodness, then you will. And that's one thing that my friend, when she started speaking light languages, she realized that she started singing them, and she's like, I know why I left choir now. She's like, I left choir to get away from the structure, to get away from, you have to sing the note exactly like this. It has to be in this structure. You have to do it this way. It has to be the perfect tone and the perfect pitch and the perfect everything. And she's like, now I know I had to get away from that structure because I'm going to be channeling, and I can't put myself in this box if I'm going to be channeling. Yeah. And this has been a process for her to open up her, like, okay, it's okay to do things a different way. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've experienced too with light language and everything is, we have to open our minds, open our hearts, and let things kind of be maybe a little bit different than we're used to. And that's how we can help other people do that too. So it's cool, Claire. I love your story.
It is fun. It is fun. And I get the feeling that it's both opening up and setting the intention. Absolutely right. Setting the intention for only the highest vibrational energies to come through. And I've never had any dodgy experiences with anything of the lower orders. I've never sought them. I don't attract them. And whatever happens, whenever I do my work, I'm always in the highest, vibration I can be. So, I would say that out there to everybody. It's your choice. But certainly my experiences have always been beautiful, only beautiful light beings. So that's lovely. But I also wonder, it sort of feels also that all of these things are going on all the time, the multidimensional universes. And if you hit a certain frequency in that moment of quiet reflection, that emptiness, it's like you can tap into all of these other multidimensional realities. So for me, it's not all being channeled into this one. It's like they're all going on all the time. And it's almost like I'm hopping into all the different dimensions. And somehow it's almost like cross wires. Do you remember in the old days with telephones, you'd get the odd party line and you'd pick up the old telephone and you'd hear somebody else's conversation. And you'd go, oh, we've got a cross line. You're really old fashioned. Half the population listening to this won't even know what I'm bloody talking about. But there was a time where you could have
cordless phones. You used to get it on cordless
wires, girls. Physical wires crossing, touching, and then be able to listen to somebody else's conversation. And it felt with that witchy voice. Do you want to see my future? It felt
that's
like
what you tapped into, right?
Yeah, I tapped into her world rather than her popped into mine. It was extraordinary. Great fun.
Oh, but I love how you say in like crossing, because then you get like all the other pieces that have come in at different times, and you're trying to put them all together.
Yeah.
So I feel that same way. There's like, like you can call them downloads or whatever, but there's so much coming in, I don't even know where to focus.
Yeah.
So then it's almost like I just kind of just let it be, and then all of a sudden like little bits and pieces will start figuring out. And I'll be like, oh yeah, that goes to that, and that goes to that, and like, so
it's not linear, and
it's not linear.
We receive things not linear either. You can receive the end of the story before you figure out what the beginning or middle is, and that's what's cool about. We're realizing that nothing. Our time is not linear. Our experience is not linear. I can speak to the 5-year-old version of myself that was bullied and say, you know what, it's gonna be okay. You're all right. You don't have to take that. It's you're fine, and like actually shift that timeline and you can change the past. You can talk to your future self. What do you think I should do? Because I don't know what to do right now. Future self, oh, well, I got this, you know.
It's already happened.
And yeah, exactly. Because you're tuning into that possible future potential that you can then go on that track towards if you align yourself with that, if that's what you want, you know. It's really cool.
I think we should play a lot more than we do. If there's one thing that we can invite everybody out there to do is, you know, there is really nothing to lose apart from perhaps a little, well, what would I say, not respect, because the people that are disrespecting you if you go off and do wacky things are possibly not your tribe anymore anyway, so you know they're entitled to their opinion. So I think, you know, there is nothing to lose. Just go and experiment with energy, experiment with multidimensional things, experiment with what we perceive to be a linear time, but it's not. And because the more we open up, the more we realize what's out there, the more fun we can have. And I've just picked from my divination cards, while we were talking, dictionary. It's called Dictionary and Communication. Well, no, what's it, Sherlock, because that's what we're doing here. So if I may just read from my book.
Yeah, please. I want to see this and hear what it has to say.
The message is, you are overthinking things. Stop trying to analyze every conversation, every word, every thought. It's time to shift from the control of the logical and the analytical left brain and explore the creative, intuitive right brain, which will help you find clarity, inspiration, and peace of mind. This message also serves as a reminder to listen to others, particularly when they are offering help. Be careful not to dismiss advice, for it often comes to an answer to your prayers. You are like a closed book, and people find it hard to read you. It's time to open up and share your thoughts and feelings, as this will bring greater understanding and deeper meaning to your relationships. I can't tell you how appropriate that is in light of the astrological chart that I recently, last night I bought from Lorna Bevan, Hair in the Moon, and all 28 pages came through last night.
That's good. I love her. I just
love
met her your post. Oh my gosh, she is so right on.
I know. I couldn't resist it. £16.95 for 28 pages. It was absolutely brilliant. But it was all about this. So the incantation is, did I come across okay? How did I speak? What did I say? Communication is the key to connecting purposefully. And other divinatory meanings for our dictionary card. Listen well, as important words, be they spoken to you by a friend or stranger, or written down and placed before you in a note or card, will point you to your next step. Try to understand someone else's point of view. Meditate to quiet your mind. Speak with confidence. Your life purpose involves writing and public speaking. Hey, all of us girls. And then this card revealed at a greater level the oldest known dictionaries dating back some 4,300 years are cuneiform tablets from the Akkadian Empire. Since dictionaries have played an important role in deciphering and interpreting ancient languages, in particular the meanings of text used in ceremonial work, like ancient rites of passage and books of magic. These days, physical dictionaries seem to be becoming increasingly rare, as we tend to rely on the online sources to learn about the meaning of words. Therein lies the truth. And where's our hieroglyphic expert when we need her?
Right?
Our translator of texts and ancient things. Alicia, come and join us again. So that's what I picked.
The meeting just, we are no longer with a time limit. The meeting upgraded.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means that we're not going to be cut off in our flow. It's not, we're not just about to go and then be frozen out. It's unlimited. So we can
so by the way,
each other for hours. Because it takes long enough to upload this bloody thing anyway, let alone if we go on for hours and hours. I'll still be here this time next Christmas. So my little friends, what other stuff comes to mind then? Divination, words.
Well, thank you for reading and picking that card. That was a cool card. I'm so glad that it talked about the messages coming to us in in ways that we don't expect. You know, sometimes you're just walking through a grocery store and somebody will say like, well, they said that it was $422. And then you're just walking by and you're like, 422, that matches up with the because it's all,
Right.
you're creating all of it, you know, and these are messages. You know, we're given messages in all sorts of ways. You could pass a street sign. Oh my God, that's the name of the thing that oh my God, you know, or one time it was like Phoenix or something. And I knew it was because I was supposed to go to Phoenix, Arizona, you know? So it's really cool that the more that we tune in and pay attention to what's actually going on around us and our surroundings and how everything's a message for us.
Yeah.
Everything is a message for us. And we can tune in to, and then it's all different, you know, when we were talking about the meaning of 1111 and the numerological meaning of 11, well, it can mean a different thing in each different moment that you see it. It depends on, like, you'll know in that moment, the more you tune in, oh, this time it means this, this number, and this other time is referring to a different situation, a different meaning. So it's cool.
I think being open and receptive, expecting the unexpected, which is Uranus energy, isn't it? Very much expect the unexpected. That opens up some crazy portals. And I was sitting with a friend. We were we were on a shamanic. It was a little weekend with a Native American Indian medicine woman. And she had the skulls and everything, and it was absolutely.
This is my dream. I want to do this. I want to.
Me too. She's American, Native American Indian. I can't remember her.
Ooh, look at that!
Oh, the skull!
Beautiful.
I need to get mine out. I'm skull envy. But I was sitting there. We'd had this day. Yeah, on it. Beautiful. We were with the skulls. We were with the skulls all morning, and we'd gone for a little bit of lunch. We were in a lovely spiritual place called Malvern, very ancient energy, not far from Warwickshire. And we were sitting actually in a graveyard having our sandwiches because it was a nice, peaceful place to be. Seemed appropriate. And this gentleman walked toward us, really nice looking guy. And he looked me in the eye from about 10 foot out, and he said, "Excuse me," he said, "could you tell me if I'm going in the right direction for so-and-so?" And I said, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I'm a tourist here myself. I don't know this town. I'm as lost as you are." And he looked me in the eye and he said, "Oh, but you're not lost, are you?" And then he walked, no word of a lie, he walked another 6 foot down the path and completely disappeared.
Whoa, that's so cool.
And my friend Celia was sat with me and she said, "Where did he go?" And I said, "Where did he go?" Exactly.
You mean that you physically saw him disappear?
Disappeared. It just dematerialized. And the message there was, don't feel, you're not lost. Get out of your head.
Right.
Because we've had such an extraordinary morning with Phoenix. Her name is Phoenix, this Native American Indian medicine woman. And I suppose I was feeling a bit discombobulated, really. But he was there, and he literally walked into our reality just to deliver that little mot juste.
I love that.
Message, and then walked straight out again. It was.
So I have a thing. So last night I was with friends and we were doing a vision wheel with manifesting vision wheel, and she's actually putting together the shamanic adventure to go to Peru, and it's her friend. He's a shaman, and to go. It's like a couple week long thing, and I'm like trying to manifest this to happen. She's like. So she found a picture. She's like, "Here's the picture where we're going and stuff." So she cut it out for me, gave it to me. And I flip it over to glue it, to put it on my paper. And I'm not kidding, on the back of it, it was like the way it was written out, it was LORI. That was all big on it. And I was like,
it's you.
I had to show her. I was like, look.
Wow.
So I'm like putting it out there. So that's my shamanic little like message of
you're trying to go there with her.
Yes. So that's right. I just put it out there that I'm manifesting it.
That's incredible.
I had there's a lovely voice lady. She does overtone chanting training. An English lady called Jill Peirce, and she's been doing it for donkey's years. She was sort of right at the beginning of her time in terms of teaching overtoning, and she went travel Tibet and all of that. A really amazing lady. And I'm on her mailing list. So she sends, she does ancestral clearing and healing and all stuff. And I just got a flyer through the post, her little envelope of her courses for this year. And I thought, that's nice, yeah. And then stuck in there was a picture of dolphins. And I thought, oh, dolphins? Then that's not her thing at all. You know, I thought that's odd. And on the back it was a flyer from a nice gentleman who is taking people on a yacht. I think it's to the Bahamas, I may be wrong, but swimming with wild dolphins. And I thought, well, that's interesting, because I have, like you, Laurie, I have sent out into the universe that I want to go to Hawaii this December to swim with wild dolphins with Jan Lemuri, who is coming on our show next week.
Nice, yay!
Really?
Jan is a human dolphin. And I've been on a workshop with him. He is the most beautiful spirit, and he really is a land dolphin. And he's going to come and talk to us about his dolphin work. So I've been holding this thing, and it's not going to be cheap. His course is going to be dog cheap, but getting to Hawaii from England is not going to be cheap. So I'm just putting it out there, Laurie, like you. And then through this post, in something that is not connected with anything like that at all, there's this picture of these dolphins swimming in the ocean with the dolphins. And I thought, I'm taking that.
There's a sign. There's your
sign.
sign.
Holy cow. Okay.
You need
I've
to
also
put that on your fridge so you see it every day.
Yes.
I've also put it out there that I am going to swim with dolphins one day, and every time I think about it, if I think like too much, I start to cry, because like I know that it's, you know, I've when I was a kid, I was playing Echo the Dolphin, the video game, on the Sega Genesis. My uncle had it when I was, you know, very young. And I remember playing that game, and, you know, the dolphin swimming. It was super pixelated, old school, but I was like, I did this. I remember being in the ocean and being a dolphin, but I was a small girl and I didn't understand. So now I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So that's amazing. I would like to jump on that vision board quest and go ahead and manifest that too.
Join us next week. Come and meet Jan.
Oh, right. I absolutely will. And I have friends that speak dolphin light language, dolphin.
Ooh, that's really cool.
We need them on. We need them on.
Right? We do need those. Yes.
They are incredible. I actually know somebody who is hybridized with dolphin, like galactic dolphin DNA. So it's really interesting that you're talking. I can't wait to talk to this guy, Jan.
Yeah, Jan Lemuri. Yeah, because he is Lemurian. That's his ancestral lineage.
That's so cool.
But that's exciting.
Yeah,
that's really exciting.
He lives.
Oh my god.
I don't know where does he live. I do know this. He's 8 hours time difference, so he's your neck of the woods, only a bit further west. But he's going to go to the Azores, swimming with the Azores with dolphins this spring, I think. But also he's hoping to do the Hawaii thing in December. So there we are, girls. You know, we can set out for that.
Nice. Yep, put it out there.
Not halfway there, for God's sake. I've still got bloody 11 hours to get to halfway there.
Just teleport.
I know.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, if this is all an illusion and we're stepping into our powers, I want to learn how to teleport. So
you know what? I fully believe, I don't care how batshit crazy I sound right now, I fully believe in my experience on this earth as a human being in this lifetime, I'm going to be in that reality. Perhaps later, perhaps now, because now is later. In teleportation and, you know, I mean, I already know people that do telekinesis and, you know, and like full on telepathy, and we're moving in, if you want to, we're moving into that version of reality, you know. And I mean, that's what's happening with the frequencies rising on the earth, is our abilities are coming online full blast. And I think a lot of people are experiencing all sorts of interesting stuff. Even people that don't even know what they're like, all of a sudden like, wait, I was thinking about somebody and then they called me. Or there was I heard about my friend's family member who had a prophetic dream, and then did it and thought it was just a regular dream. And then later on that day, the thing that he dreamt about happened.
Mhm.
And he was having he didn't know how to handle it. He was like sitting there like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going, because it freaked him out, you know, for people who don't even believe in this stuff. And that's what's happening. You know, everything's coming online now because our technology is actually a reflection of our true innate abilities. The internet is actually showing us what the astral network, what the human collective consciousness is, and that we can receive info. I mean, look at in history, all the inventors that invented things at the exact same time on Earth, living in completely different parts of the world. It's because they were, you know, getting the same information at the same time. So it's really exciting what's happening. And I know there's a lot of crazy stuff happening on Earth too, but come on, guys, we can focus on something more
I agree.
exciting and you know, what lights you up. If you think of, just use your imagination, like what's the coolest thing I could possibly imagine to exist on Earth? And then like, oh my God, I want to be able to, you know, I saw somebody wearing a freaking jetpack. I'm going to pull it up because it's so cool. It's so cool. It was like on his arms. And he's flying around, and I'm like, I'm going to be doing that. And then eventually I'm not even going to need the jetpack because we can fly. We fly in dreams. I was flying in my dream the other night, and I was like,
I was too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I woke up and I was like,
I love flying in my dreams.
we're going there. Okay, here it is. I found it.
Well, and as a collective, if we got all of us together and tapped into our superpowers, can you imagine like collectively how fast that would happen rather than looking at all the negative?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's
exactly.
Thing is what you don't, if you, oh, brilliant. If you don't.
Oh, I haven't seen this one. Whoa,
oh, nice. Oh, that's cool, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
So, I mean, I'm going to come visit you, Claire. I'm going to wear that. Fly across the frickin' ocean. Okay? Then we can go to Hawaii.
Right, she's going to come by and pick you up and then take you to Hawaii.
Actually, I'll probably use this to fly on top of the spaceship, and then I'll just ride the roof of the spaceship because you can't get more classy than that, you know?
Right.
So this is what I'm saying.
That old adage of what you focus on grows is absolutely spot on. So if we focus on the light, if we focus on the fun, if we focus on the hilarity, the thinning of the veil, the superhuman powers, all that other stuff will literally just atrophy and die and disappear. It's like dog training. You never shout at a dog for doing the wrong thing, because as far as he's concerned, he's got your attention. So he's just going to keep repeating the wrong thing to get your attention. So you ignore what you don't like and you praise and reward him for what you do like. And then, you know, as we know, they are not stupid.
They're not.
Do you have a poochie?
Oh,
oh, look at the pretty poochie.
Oh,
what is your dog's name?
He's so handsome.
Oh, bless her. So so let's just ignore all the chaos, the madness, the buffoonery that is going on in the 3D world. And why don't we just, you know, step out of that and just go and have fun and play?
Because we can.
I'm with you. Let's do it.
I love the analogy of focus being literally energetic currency, and currency in two ways: currency as in electric currency, and currency as in currency. So you are giving your currency of your energy to anything that you're focusing on. I have to bring this up because I was a gamer growing up. I already mentioned Echo the dolphin. I just realized I taught a Chinese student the other day and he picked the name Echo.
Oh, the pieces are coming together.
There's also a Shikani. So Bashar's Shikani, like the Daryl Anka channels Bashar, who's a Shikani race, future ET human hybrid. And I've realized there's another Shikani named Echo that my friend is in contact with. And if she's probably going to watch this and be like, oh, you're talking about Echo. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. So gamers, right? Okay, so playing video games growing up. speaking of energetic currency and focus, I love the analogy of Grand Theft Auto, the video games Grand Theft Auto. When you get in the car in Grand Theft Auto, when you choose a car, you usually throw somebody out of the car and then you get in because Grand Theft Auto. So you're driving in this car, and let's say it's like an incredible sports car. All right. It's like, you see like one in the game, in the whole entire game, the whole time you're playing for 50 hours or something, you see one of these cars. As soon as you get in that car, what do you see all over the street? You see that car all over the street, because in the game it uses less memory in the game to generate that car all over the place than a whole bunch of other random cars. So in terms of the virtual reality being created, it's easier. So if you think of like the crystalline network, the crystalline creation of, because gosh, everything is in the hologram of reality, back to the illusion, but really we are creating in every moment what we're focusing on. And the same happened with people in my life. The more that I was switching my perspective of, oh my God, I can't stand this, that, and the other thing that this person does, and then saying, I'm excited to see more of the awesome things that they expand into, the awesome things that they realize about themselves. Then I started to see that version of them.
Yeah.
Like that, expanding more, looking for more answers, asking the questions. So it's interesting. It's interesting how our perception and our choice in each moment really does create our reality.
Well, and that, like you said, it's all kind of, we are in a simulation. We are in a video game.
Yes.
So
that it is consciously
that we can,
create differently now, instead of unconsciously as we have been creating, because we've been programmed to, and we're breaking out of the programming, which is awesome.
I know.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, bearing in mind that I'm going to have to sit and jiggle my mouse for about 15 hours to upload this video, because I don't have a mouse jiggler, but I will be getting one. I think we maybe, on that note, do you think we should call that to a periodic call? We've got about 46 minutes, I think we've gone. A record, my God, a record.
It is a record. I think we're good. I think.
Shall we just do
we'll
one?
Stop with Jan next week. I'm so excited about that one.
Let's do that.
We're gonna do one more.
One little card.
Let's do it.
Go
let's
on.
do it on
one little card. She of the obsessive oracle cards.
What does the week bring?
Well, a good one. What does the week ahead bring? What is the guidance for us on our week ahead? Say when, either of you.
Is this for all three of us, or for the human collective?
Yeah, well, we are the human collective in a small but beautifully formed trio. So this is us. So say, Laurie, you say when.
When?
Oh, is that? Oh, crikey! Definitely that one.
Oh, did it fall? Did it jump out? What is it? Another one again? Wow. There you go. If that's not totally it right there.
That needs another feed. What are the odds of that doing there again?
You can't make this stuff up.
You can't make it up. Let us remind ourselves on the key points of dictionary communication. We're overthinking things. Stop trying to analyze every conversation, every word, every thought. It's time to shift for the control of the logical and analytical left brain and explore the creative, intuitive right brain, which will help us all find clarity, inspiration, and peace of mind. This message also serves as a reminder to listen to others, particularly when they are offering help. Be careful not to dismiss advice, for it often comes as an answer to our prayers. We are like a closed book, and people find it hard to read us. Oh, yes. It's time to open up and share our thoughts and feelings, as this will bring greater understanding and deeper meaning to our relationships. Incantation. Did I come across okay? How did I speak? What did I say? Communication is the key to connecting purposefully. Listen well, as important words, be they spoken to you by a friend or stranger, or written down and placed before you in a note or card, will point you to your next step. Try to understand someone else's point of view and meditate to quiet your mind. Speak with confidence, because your life purpose involves writing and public speaking. It's magic. It is magic.
It is magical. For sure.
So, my lovelies, we'll be we'll be joined by Jan Lemuri. He's got a Facebook page. Yes, and I think if you type in Jan, Jan, Lemuri, Lemuri, he'll be coming on with us next week, and we'll be talking all things dolphin. So yeah, looking forward to us getting back together again. And anybody else, come and join us and do some dolphin connecting.
Oh, wait a minute. It's a robot. Talk about things are not as they seem.
Right.
Not as they seem. All right, my lovely girls, my lovely soul sisters, have a brilliant week, and see you next week.
Bye.
May the force be with you all. God bless you. Bye. Bye.